When you go to work to earn money, the next thing to do is that once you get your paycheck, you deposit it into the bank. As a result of saying thank you for saving money in their system, usually you may earn anywhere from 0.04% or less on the money that you have in your savings. Well, the real question is, what exactly are the banks doing with the money that's in their system? You see, by law, banks are only required to save or have 10% of that money in their books. The rest of the 90% must go out in the form of an investment. So that means banks use what we call OPM, other people's money, to create wealth. It's only the customer's money that they're able to leverage to invest in other things because banks don't print money. They're not the Federal Reserve. Now, when banks are getting ready to invest, they consider one or two places, tier one capital or tier two capital. In most cases, a lot of their money is what we call tier two capital, which is considered high risk. High risk, but high rewards. So you're talking about your mortgage loan, 6 to 8%, personal loan, 8 to 20%, business loan, 5 to 15%, and credit cards, 18 to 30% that they can earn on the money that they're lending out while they're paying out 0.04% on the same money that customers deposit. Now, the problem could be if there were to be issues here with the high risk investment, right? And people decided that they wanted to pull their money out at once from the bank. The banks don't have that liquidity in tier two capital, which is why banks oftentimes go bankrupt when that happens. Well, to avoid going bankrupt, banks are required to also have what we call tier one capital assets, meaning assets that are much safer than the high risk assets. So it's considered low risk. Tier one, what exactly is it? Is a bank's core capital that serves as a primary financial cushion against risk and loss. It is the most reliable form of capital because it consists of high quality assets that can absorb losses without causing the bank to collapse. All right. So any asset that is in here is considered extremely safe. So banks put money into corporate bonds. Banks put money into commodities, gold, silver, precious metal. Why? Because it serves as a hedge against inflation. Banks also put money into what we call BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. Now, the real question is, why in the world will banks put money into life insurance? The reason is because it is one of the safest places that you can put money into that you're guaranteed not to lose what you've built into the policy. Now, as of 2024, more than 3,000 banks in the United States have BOLI, okay, with a total of $200 billion plus, okay? It's sitting inside of BOLIs right now. Why will banks do that? Why? Because they need to make sure they have enough liquidity, meaning money that they can access should anything go wrong here. All right. So what we teach our clients, right, especially business owners and high net worth individuals, is how do you create a system where instead of putting your money here, you can create your own system where you can fund money into a life insurance contract. And whenever you need the liquidity, remember, the money you put into it is liquid. You can easily go into it and access the money to take care of your operations in your business, to invest in other income producing assets. All right. But all the while, your money never leaves your contract. Why? Because you only took out a loan against it. So catch this. You're still earning money, interest inside of your life insurance contract, while at the same time earning interest in whatever you choose to invest the money into. All right. So you got to learn these strategies and always understand that the key to creating wealth is OPM, learning to use other people's money. Banks don't print money, yet they're making billions every single year. Why? Because it is a system. So what you need to learn is how can you create your own system to create wealth for yourself and wealth for your family? Because with this type of policy, not only are you able to accumulate cash value growth, but when something happens to you, you pass away, you still got the death benefit component that gets paid out to your beneficiary. So now we're talking about building generational wealth.